Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to episode number 2 of the WOJFL. That is right, the World of Juice Football League returns to your screens, and it's time for the inaugural week of the WOJFL. Week number 1, all teams will be in action, including your Orlando Wizards against the Golden Eagles this week. That's going to be the game that we're going to be playing today, and I'm super excited about it because it's brand new. It is absolutely brand new. These players have never played in the WOJFL before, and now they get their shot to shine bright. When the lights are brightest, they come in and they are here for you guys. So I do want to point out one thing before we get into the actual episode. I'm recording this before the first episode goes live, simply because it just works out better for my my recording schedule. So I have not seen the comments. If you have any comments, if you guys had put your, I don't know if anybody would have, but if you happen to have put your build for a player you want in the WOJFL draft, then I haven't seen that yet because I'm recording this before that video has gone live. So probably by the next episode, episode number 3, I will have seen those comments, if there are any, about those, and then I will have implemented them into the draft class. So just let you know that if you're wondering why I don't talk about having you guys in the draft class, is because I haven't seen it yet. So just wanted to put that out there before we get into the actual video. So without further ado, let's actually do it. Let's get into episode number 2. The inaugural season of the WOJFL is about to be underway. Hope you guys going to enjoy. If you do, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's get it started. Before we jump into gameplay, I want to introduce you guys to a little tool that we're going to implement in here to keep a little bit more of a track on what's going on around the league. Basically, I want this to feel as immersive as possible for you guys, and the way that we're going to be doing that is using this tool. It's called the My Franchise tool, and it's only for PC, and once you have this tool, you can, any franchise you have on file will be appear on a little screen. You can click whatever franchise you want, and then this screen will pop up, the home screen of your franchise. And as you can see, it has our game right here, Wizards versus Golden Eagles, Sunday at 1 o'clock on CBS. But we can see everything around the league. We can see the injury report. We can see the players of the week. Obviously, there is none because it's the inaugural season, the inaugural week. We can see social media. You can see transactions, if there's any transactions that go on. You can see just the random news. If we go to the schedule screen, we can see what's going on around the league. Obviously, there are no logos because everybody's been relocated, so the franchise tool struggles with that. But that's okay because we don't really need that. It's not that big of a deal. But you can see what games are going on at what time and on what network. Fox has a 1 o'clock game with the Elks and the Steamers. Then we've got the Sunday night game on NBC, the Dreadnoughts versus the Riverhogs. Monday Night Football is on ESPN with Shamrocks and Black Knights. There's some big matchups on here. We can also see the over-unders. Where's our game? Orlando, here we are. The over-under is 50, and the spread is -2.5. I'm assuming that we are the favorites, but I don't know for sure. I guess if I click on it, will it tell me who the favorites are? We don't have any stats yet because we haven't played any games, but I don't think it's telling me who the favorite is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's telling me who the favorite is. But then we can go to the teams. We can see every single team. We can click on all the different teams, and it'll take us to all their individual stats and stuff. So this tool is how we're going to keep track of, and you can see that I'm the owner of the Wizards. And I can switch it easily like this too. But this is how we're going to keep track of around the league, pick our favorite players, see who's doing well, see who's leading the league, and all these kinds of things. It just makes it a more compact, easier way than Madden does to see all the good stuff around the league. You can also take a look at stats for passing, receiving, rushing, tackling, all that kind of good stuff. The standings for each conference, for each division. You can see all the players. We can go to the trade center and see any kind of interesting trades. You can even submit trades through this. I don't know how that would work, though. I haven't tried it yet. You can go to the trade block and see who might be on the trade block, anybody that interests you. You can go to the active players and just see everybody in the league. And you can also like sort by rookies only. You can sort by position, all kinds of good stuff. You can even search players specifically. So let's search. Who do we want to search? Tank Barber. Tank Barber. There we go. So if we search Tank Barber, nothing comes up. Probably because he's right here. I don't know. I think you can search players. I just don't know why it's not coming up. And you can look at who's in the free agency. You can sort by age, all the different stats, individual stats. You can see who's coming up on contracts for the upcoming free agency. So it looks like there's a lot of X-Factor players coming up for contracts. The best player that is coming up for a new contract is the Dragons, Tokyo Dragons. Their starting running back, Deshaun Henry, is in the upcoming free agency. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. You can also see the practice squad for everybody that's on a practice squad right now. We have a few guys on ours with Dick Free, Aaron Aronson are a couple guys on our practice squad right now. You can go into individual contracts throughout the league. You can see who's making the most money. In the WOJFL, you can see who's making the least amount of money, all that kind of stuff. And maybe the most important part is the draft class. The NFL draft, you can go in and you can look at all this stuff. You can see the draft recap. Obviously, there is no draft recap because the draft hasn't happened yet. And then the tools is just like this little extra thing that you can have. You can injured reserve fix, all this kind of stuff. The progression tool, you guys might have been wondering for some of my rebuilds why some of the players weren't, or why the players weren't updating and progressing like you're normally used to. And that's because I had the progression tool accidentally switched to on. So in this little settings thing, when you load up what file you want to use, it'll give you either progression tool or XP tool, like normal Madden. And I accidentally clicked progression tool, which changes the way that XP, or just gets rid of XP altogether and changes the way that players progress and regress in Madden. And that's why in some of those rebuilds recently, the players haven't been like progressing normally, and that's because I had that tool activated. And so sometimes that'll happen. Sometimes the XP tool will be activated. It just depends on what file I'm using for what rebuild. So that's just the way that it is. So I just wanted to show you guys all this. We will come back to this every episode and kind of recap how the week went, how every team is playing, kind of some of the early favorites, who some of the dominant players are in the league. We will come back to this every single episode at the end of it to kind of recap what happened that week. So I just wanted to introduce you guys to this right now so that at the end of each episode, it's not an unfamiliar thing that you're seeing. And up here is every single NFL team. If this wasn't relocated, it'd just be like the normal logos, like Bears, Bengals, all yada yada yada. It'd just be all those teams. But if I were to click on one, it would just take me. Yep, this is the Dreadnought. So it would just take me to their individual things. So that's just each logo. It's just a direct way, a quicker way to get to the team if you want to just go to a specific team. But we can take a look at each team's offensive stats, their defensive stats, their staff, who's coaching them, how they're doing financially, their depth chart, their schedule, all this good stuff. All the good stuff. And we can see their scheme, how much cap space they have, what their overalls are, everything. This is a super in-depth tool that I'm going to be implementing a lot more as we get further into this series. But I just want to show you guys now so that you're ready for it at the end of each episode. So now that we've introduced this, let's get back to the actual screen so we can learn about the Golden Eagles a little bit more and get ready to play them. Okay, back on Madden. It's time to introduce the draft class. Like I said, this is before I saw the first episode. First episode's not out yet when I'm recording this. So we do not have, these are just all base guys. But if you guys want, you can, like I said, put in the comments of that video or this video your build for a player. So name, position, height, weight, and college that you want to go to, and I will implement that into one of these prospects, and you can be a part of the WOJFL in the future. But this is the first initial draft class. Looks like we got a couple quarterbacks at the top. We've got a couple running backs. A running back in the top 5 is very interesting. I don't know. 5'9" out of Georgia could be very interesting. If I go to my scouts, we have an interior offensive line and defensive end, 3-star scout, which I don't necessarily hate that much. The region breakdown has it as defensive tackle, corner, and wide receiver are the strengths, and then right guard is a weakness. I'm probably not going to scout, like focus scout on that. I'll probably focus scout on defensive ends if we're being totally honest. Because if we go to our team and we take a look at our defensive line, and it is a little weak. The interior offensive line is a little weak too, especially with Percy Usbeth. You could say that, you can make the argument that it is a little weak. But if we go to our defensive line, actually our defensive line is very strong at the top. I did move Randall Kelly to defensive tackle. He just fit that build a little bit better than a pass rusher. So he is now a defensive tackle. But we don't really have like a solid backup plan for Jadeveon Carter or Boogie Richardson or Randall Carter and Tavon Johnson. So maybe we could focus on defensive ends in the draft, but maybe interior offensive line would be a smarter idea. That could be a smarter idea. So maybe we use our national scout to focus on in offensive guards. And I know that right guard is a weakness, but maybe we could get a left guard and then just move them to right guard after the fact. That could also be a possibility. So I think that's what we'll do for season 1. But let's look at the Mexico City Golden Eagles, because that's the team that we're going to be playing today, and we want to know a little bit more about them. So they're the team that has Herschel Gates. Their quarterback is Keith Maddox, 20-year-old out of Slippery Rock. He is a rookie franchise quarterback. All right, good for him. Then they obviously have Herschel Gates and Jonathan Kelso. Their wide receiver core is made up of Michael Wing, 85 overall. Aniruda? I don't know how to pronounce that first name. Gade is the other wide receiver. Then Isaiah Angelo, Alec Knox, Josh Cherry, and Brashad Tapia are the receiving core. Mo Luca, Jelani Stokes, and Kylan Granson. That's funny. Kylan Granson is the tight end core. Then you got Bernard House at left tackle with Venice Nellis. We took a look at him earlier. Ryan Coleman is the center. Brandon Clearance is the right guard, and right tackle is Brandon Marcus. So their offensive line is not very strong. Our defensive line should be able to make some pressure. Quiddy Timothy House is the defensive end with Deo Perry, Taquan Queen, Samson Fernand, I don't know, Al Quadine Howell, and I'm not even gonna try. Oh, maybe I will. Editomiwa Akizarawa. I don't know. I should have tried. That's the defensive ends. DeForest Andons, Grover Gomez, and Tavon Barnes are the defensive tackles. Linebackers are why did I say it like that? Shaquille Weldon and Cameron Gatlin. Then you got Brick Wall, who goes up against Brick Law. Then you got EJ Queen and JoJo Johnson. Right outside is Kyle Stick and Zaire Bryce. The corners are Kenny Hogan, Isaiah Jacques, and Kyle Woods, with Julius Berkeley and Darius Wells backing them up. Then you got free safety Julian Allen and Rodney Zuniga. And Ronnie Wayne and Nick Barrios are the strong safeties. Kicker is Matt Straight, and Rigoberto Harper is the punter. So those are your Mexico City Golden Eagles. And we head to Mexico City in this divisional AFC South matchup here. Inaugural season of the WOJFL. I am super, super, super excited to get into this game. And like I mentioned before, we will play the entirety of the game today. What uniform should we rock with? The clean white uniforms? Maybe. Or do we go with the gold uniforms? There's a couple good options here. I think for the first season, or for the first game ever, we're going to stick with the whites, the all whites, because they look very clean. But for maybe episode number 2, depending on if we're home or not, we might go with the gold. Mexico City, unfortunately, is a team that doesn't have any updated uniforms from the mod, so they just have the basic Madden relocation uniforms options that they were given. So they'll rock with their home uniforms, but we are headed to hostile territory. Mexico City Golden Eagles versus the Orlando Wizards Game number 1, episode 2, the inaugural season of the WOJFL. I am super excited. I hope you guys are too. Strap in, get some popcorn. It's go time. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like the scoreboard for the CBS mod has gotten a little bit, or actually it's the NBC mod, Sunday Night Football. It looks like it's gotten a little bit glitched. I wonder if I pause and fix it, if it'll work. I don't really know. Sometimes with these mods that can happen. It is NBC Sports though, and Keith Maddox is the starting quarterback for the Golden Eagles. We will see what happens. Maybe it'll fix after it comes out of this. No, it didn't. Okay, it's still there if I pause. What about if I go to instant replay? Sometimes that fixes it. So if we go to, no, okay. I guess we're just going to have a thing like that, or whatever. A scoreboard like that, which means I'm going to have to figure out a new way for my camera to go. First play of the WOJFL, and it's the running back, Herschel Gates, with a huge 10-yard carry. He's a problem. He is a problem. I might have to uninstall the presentation mods, because I don't think this is going to be a good idea to have these glitched scoreboards. Maybe it's just this one time that's the problem. I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out as we move forward. Things are always changing here in the WOJFL, that's for sure. But the Golden Eagles are moving the football down the field on me very simply, very easily. Herschel Gates is a hard man to bring down, but he finally did. It took 2 guys to bring down Herschel there. I'll probably have my camera in the top left corner of the screen, either top left or top right. I'm not 100% sure where it'll be, but I don't want to take away anything, as that could have been picked off. I think that might have been Smoke Morrison covering him. That could have been picked off. Wing with the catch. I don't know why the pop-ups are coming out. I thought I turned that off, but maybe I didn't for this thing. Maybe I turned it off for something else. I thought I did. Oh, that's going to be a missed tackle. Herschel Gates breaking tackles like crazy. And the boys are moving the football down the field in this defense. I don't really like that too much. I don't like that one bit. Storm McKinley brought him down, but not after a huge gain from Herschel Gates. They are a run-heavy team, obviously, because he's their best player. But that was Kelso, the backup running back. And it looks like Brick Laws is celebrating that he brought him down after a gain of 2. At least I can see what down it is. The scoreboard's not messed up that bad for that, at least. The scoreboard is messed up pretty bad. And Johnson almost brought down the quarterback, but he gets it away just barely. Keith Maddox, he saw his life flash before his eyes there. Thought that he had it, thought that he got sacked, but he did not. It's okay. It is 3rd and 8. If we could hold to a field goal, that would be the ideal situation. And it's going to be Smoke Morrison with the corner blitz, and he brings him down. The first sack for Orlando Wizards history is the corner Smoke Morrison, and we do hold for a field goal attempt. I will take that. That's a huge W for this defense starting out this game. Unfortunately, I can't really see the clock. It's kind of messed up in the NBC logo. I think there's 2 minutes to go in the quarter, but it's kind of messed up a little bit. I think I'll go back to for next episode, I'll go back to the normal Madden scoreboards. I don't know what it is. Maybe I need to re-update the scoreboard mod or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's glitched with, oh, Wilson has a lot of speed there. Maybe it's glitched with the, some other mod that I have installed. I don't know. But we'll probably just go back to the thing. It's not that big of a deal. And we've got Smooth Jazz Kenny George coming on the field. Remember, we have 3 possible starting quarterbacks. Any one of them could take the starting job, and they might not even have to fight for it. It could be just a rotating door as Speed McCree barrels forward for 8 yards to get started here in Orlando. Or has Orlando. I'm not really sure what we should call here. It's kind of a play it by ear kind of thing, because we've never played against the Golden Eagles before. We don't know what they do well on defense, and we'll have to wait and see. As Speed McCree gets another carry, gets the first down. Let's run a vertical play. Remember, Kenny George, Smooth Jazz, has a little bit of movement. He can run around the pocket, extend the play, but he might not have to. We've got Yarborough, Edinson Yarborough, with a huge catch to move the ball down the field. He was wide open, and Smooth Jazz, Kenny G, finds him. That is beautiful. 1st and 10. Give the ball to Speed McCree and show why he's got the name Speed. Juke move. Speed McCree down the field. 29 yards on 3 carries. He's just so quick. He's too quick for you. Little play action flood with Harrison Bush. This could be good. We also got Lamar Ferguson coming out of the backfield. So we'll go with Bush. There it is. Harrison Bush holds on for the first down. 2 for 2 day for Kenny George. Smooth Jazz looking pretty sharp out there. And that will be the end of the first quarter. We go to the second quarter, down by 3. But we are in scoring position. Very lethal scoring position. Is the 7-footer out there? He's not out there. But we do have Tyreek Lawson, who is a speed demon. We might be able to use him, although I'm going to roll out of the pocket with Kenny George. Although I have a man open. Kenny George diving by MVP! That's why he's the MVP. Marquez Vontel Porter with a diving catch to give the Wizards the touchdown lead. Well, not the touchdown lead, but the lead with the touchdown. What a dive, and Kenny George loves it. Oh, man. That was a crazy catch. What a throw, by the way, by George. Let's get an instant replay on this. So George runs out of the pocket here. I'm thinking I'm just going to take off and run because I got the speed to outrun this lineman. I could have had I could have had a touchdown with Kenny G, but then I see back here at the corner of my eye, I see MVP rolling out, and he's breaking free. He's got some space, so I'm like, throw the football, and Kenny George delivers a beautiful ball, and MVP dives, puts his body on the line for the Wizards. And we might got ourselves our thummy right here. We might have gotten ourselves a little thummy. You know I love a good thummy. Let me get a little angle here. Zoom in and out on the boy. Oh, out of focus there. There we go. Look at the boy MVP. That could be the thummy right there. Talk about an introduction to the WOJFL. If we're getting talent plays like that, then we are good to go, man. We are good to go. This is going to be quite the league. And our kicker, Dicker the kicker, puts it right through for the extra points. And the Orlando Wizards are up 7-3 on the Golden Eagles. But the defense needs to step up a little bit as Michael Plummer sends that away. The defense needs to step up. We kind of got diced up a little bit by Herschel Gates. He kind of destroyed us. But then when they were forced to pass, we kind of held on a little bit down in the red zone. We definitely tightened up when it got to red zone situation and forced the field goal. Trey Watts in the backfield gets stiff-armed, but luckily he slowed him up enough for Brick Law to get there. And we were able to shut it down for a loss. But Trey Watts got to the backfield very quickly. That's something we need to do. Boogie Richardson, I think I'm going to utilize him. The left tackle's not super great, so we need to get some pressure. And that's going to be Trey Watts losing coverage. Big gain, first down. Maddox rolls out of the pocket and finds his man. It's going to be Luka with the catch and the huge first down gain. That's something we cannot allow. We cannot allow those kind of things. Oh, that might be encroachment right there. That might be encroachment. I was hoping it would be a little bit of... oh, it's a neutral zone infraction. Okay. I was hoping it would be false start, but it was not a false start for the boys. That is okay. 1st and 5. There's the snap. Oh, it's a little bit of a handoff to the receiver, a little wide receiver end around. And they've got themselves a first down. That was a good play. I was not expecting on that. I was not sitting that, not at all. But that's okay. We can get to the quarterback here. 1st and 10. They are moving the ball. Boogie Richardson, I missed pass, or I went right past him. That's my fault. That's bad user play right there. That is a real bad user play. Did not mean to miss that one. And it's 1st and 10, getting dangerous here. Getting dangerous. They give it to Gates again. He's just a tank, man. He just runs right through you. Hard to take down. Austin Miles brings him down, though. But he's just he's a force to be reckoned with, that is for sure. I need to get in the backfield, shut this down. We might have to put our focus on the run game here at halftime and try to shut them down that way. Because if we can force them to throw, I don't know if Maddox can beat us through the air. we might have to dare him to beat us through the air because this is just not working. He's taking chunks out of our defense. Both of them are. Kelso even got him. He's got 2 carries for 9 yards. They are dicing us up through the ground game. But if we we almost had another neutral zone infraction. We can't be having that kind of stuff. And they go with the quarterback keeper. Little read option. Trey Watts was not fooled. And we shut him down for a loss of 2. It helped out I brought a blitz there. Okay, so we got to get to the quarterback here. Get to the quarterback. And that is the 2-minute warning. 7-3 ball game here in Mexico City. The inaugural game for your Orlando Wizards and for the WOJFL. This is the first game. I know it says Sunday Night Football. That's just because that's the broadcast thing, the mod. But this is the inaugural game. You saw in the franchise tool it said 1 o'clock. It is 1 o'clock. And that's a wide open touchdown. Maddox delivers it, and the Golden Eagles take their lead back. It is now 10-3, barring any mishaps with the extra point. But they did whatever they wanted to us on the run game. That's not good. With 1:40 to go, and I think we get the ball at half, right? The next half? I'm pretty sure we do. Straight sends it away, and Wilson has the return, but he doesn't have the space. I kind of played that pretty poorly. All right. So Marquez Avantel Porter has the 1 catch, but it was an amazing touchdown. We do have some speed on this receiving core. I mean, we have Tyreek Lawson. We have even Porter and Peters have some speed themselves. So it's not like we can't run just some straight routes, but I might have to just try to outrun the defensive line, and Smooth Jazz couldn't do it. 2nd and 10. I didn't really like rolling out to that side of the pocket, if we're being fair. Kind of screwed up my my whole thing. That's okay. 2nd and 10. Kenny got to fire it in. That's going to be almost intercepted. Almost intercepted by the defensive back for the Golden Eagles. That could have been tragic. Going back to verticals, probably not the smart idea on 3rd and 10. But if I can get it in the hands of Speed McCree, it's always a good idea. Speed McCree! 1st down and more for the Wizards. He might be our most versatile weapon. He is quite the player, that is for sure. He is quite the player. Lawson's one-on-one with a corner. Oh, but that safety went back. He knows better. That safety knows better, but that's going to be knocked incomplete. That was a bad throw from Kenny George. That needs to be more direct. That needs to be just right on him if it's going to work like that, because he was open. He was open. Quick throw there. Marquez, that's going to be picked off. Bad throw. Bad decision by me, if we're being honest. I can't do that kind of throw with a guy like Kenny George. That has to be an Isaiah Cannon throw. That has to be an Isaiah Cannon throw. That's a bad decision by me. And it's going to be an interception for the Golden Eagles. Maddox kind of pressured in the pocket, but he's able to get the ball away accurately. There's 40 seconds, 43 seconds. I can't tell how many seconds. There's 40-something seconds to go in the half. And we have just given the Golden Eagles a beautiful opportunity to get some points, but Maddox inaccurate on the throw, bringing him to 6 for 8 for 63 yards. We got to get to the quarterback here. 3rd and 5. I doubt they're in field goal range. They don't have a kicker like our kicker. Oh, but that's going to be beautiful. Who cares about field goal range when you got 1st down and more? And they have, I think, only one more timeout left. Can't really see how many timeouts they have left, but I think only one timeout left. There's the snap. Watts gets to the quarterback, but he's going to find his man. He dropped it. He had a 1st down, but he dropped it. I think there's 27 seconds left in the half. They are in field goal range now, but they are trying to score a touchdown, obviously, and we don't want them to. That's going to be a quick throw. Caught. Deny him the touchdown. Keep him in. Okay. They got the timeout called, but if we can keep them in play here without scoring a touchdown, they have no more timeouts, I'm assuming. I think that's been 3 timeouts. Get to him. Sack him. Don't let him score. Brick Law. Shut it down. Okay. Auto, run it. No, don't snap it. 4, 3, 2. One. No, they snapped it with 1 second. Literal 1 second on the clock. They are going to get their field goal. They are going to get their field goal out of it and make it a 13-7 ball game. I can't believe they got a snap out. I thought we held that perfect, but we didn't. And they were able to get their field goal. We have to stop this run game, so our offensive focus is going to be probably throwing it medium, and then our defensive focus is going to be defend the inside run because Herschel Gates has been murdering us. So we need to change that up really quickly. Luckily, we get the ball, so that is always nice. And Wilson will take it back, and he's got some space. Wilson, oh my God, he had the room. He had it. He just got caught from behind. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I thought we were going to have our first ever kick return. All right, we got to get back to what worked that first drive, which was running the football with Speed McCree and making the smart decisions with Kenny George. I don't want to be doing those dumb decisions like I did on that last drive. I don't even know why I threw that there. That was a complete Isaiah Cannon throw that I completely threw with the wrong quarterback, so that's okay. I do need to, one thing I haven't done yet is go into the auto sub thing and work out some different playbooks, some different positional matchups with our quarterbacks so that we can get the right guys in there. That's another throw to MVP, and he's got himself a first down. A little bit of a difficult throw trying to find the right guy, but I want to get Isaiah Cannon involved. I want to get the other guy involved. I forget his name off the top of my head, but I want to get our other quarterbacks involved so we can show some different looks to these defenses, make sure they don't know what's coming, and they knew that was coming. Speaking of no one's coming. Andons gets in the backfield. They knew their run game was coming. All right, Speed's like, what are you guys doing? All right, we got Peters running a little drag. That might be my go-to. I think I'm going to have to hit him here. Parker Peters, that might be roughing the passer too, so we might get an extra 15 on top of that. But Parker Peters delivers. It's a holding call. I felt the controller shake, so I thought it was going to be a roughing the passer, but I guess he hit me within the time. That's unfortunate. So now it's 2nd and 22. I don't really like the idea of running the football in 2nd and 22, but we'll see. Maybe we can have a freak play and Lamar Ferguson shut down for a gain of 1. I should have known that was going to happen. I don't really like our RPO here. I think I'm going to go wheel switch. We're going to try something here. A little bit of a bad snap. It's another holding, I'm assuming. That's the only thing that it could be, really. And we're going to move back even further. Another holding call. If it's King Quinn, we're going to be in trouble here. Okay, it was the other tackle, Oluwatimi. They want us to punt. I think that's the smart thing to do. I know that I have a thing where I say we don't punt the football on the channel, which is still true, but in little brackets underneath it, you have to say, that was a bad punt by me, by the way, but you have to say, in strategic situations, we do punt the football. So we give the ball back to the Golden Eagles, down 13-7 in the third quarter. What is with us jumping the ball? Why are we trying to jump the snap so much? We almost had another penalty on that. I don't know why my defensive linemen are so eager to get to the quarterback. I mean, I respect it, but, like, come on, boys. Stop almost getting called. I mean, they're not getting called, luckily, thankfully, except for that one time, but that's like the third time I've noticed it. I'll get to the quarterback. Force Maddox out of the pocket. He gets the ball away, and he finds his open man. We got to get to the quarterback. We changed our defensive scheme so that we would stop the run and stop Herschel Gates, and we dared Keith Maddox to beat us, and it looks like he's going to do that. He's going to do just that. He's going to beat us. But we get to the backfield. How do we not bring him down? How do we not bring him down? Come on, boys. Bring him down, please. Oh, that's unbelievable. We couldn't bring him down there. 2nd and 6. Another. What are we doing? Stop it. He's not even snapping the ball. He's not even doing any cadences or anything. Oh, McKinney. What? Smoke Morrison. Oh, my God. I mean, I gave Smoke Morrison Acrobat, but are you serious? Oh, you know what it is? I have both those presentation mods put together. So that's probably why it's messing up, isn't it? I have the CBS one and the NBC one put together, and I just noticed they just like combined them. That might be why the scoreboard's all screwed up. That was unbelievable. Oh my God. I need to see that again because I'm not even sure what happened. So Keith Maddox delivers a one-on-one ball, 50-50. I thought that Storm McKinley was going to come and pick this off, but he took a bad angle. He went behind the receiver for some reason. But the ball falls off the hands of the receiver of the Golden Eagles, and Smoke Morrison comes out of nowhere, diving interception, holds on to the football, and that's a pick for the Wizards. I mean, are you serious? Smoke Morrison with the play of the year. Forget the MVP catch for the touchdown. Smoke Morrison has just given us the play of the year. Oh my God. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I guess that's what happens when you give your top corner Acrobat as a superstar ability. He does stuff like that. And Speed McCree, luckily he is fast because that was going to get shut down for a lot of different things. Our defense has just given us new life, and we need to capitalize on that new life by actually moving the football down the field. And I can't do that if I'm throwing the ball away. I thought I was going to have something there. We're going to go with a little halfback slip screen, and hope that the blockers get out in front and help McCree. Going to give it to him. He's going to catch it, and I didn't get the block. I think I ran that pretty poorly. That's probably on me more than it is on the blockers. I'm actually going to step up and run here with Kenny George, and Kenny George didn't get it. We shut down. Andons played that unbelievably well. And Smooth Jazz gets shut down, turnover on downs, ball back to the Golden Eagles. So we can't capitalize on the interception by Keith Maddox, or from Keith Maddox by Smoke Morrison. Oh, I can't believe it. I think we would have had it on that slip screen, but I screwed it up. I didn't allow for the blocker to have time to actually get on the block. Ooh, hopefully that's a hold, but that doesn't matter. That's a ball out. I think that might have been Tevin Prince. It was one of the Prince twins. Holding, but we need to get the ball. It's a holding. It is going to be first down and 10. It's our ball. We're going to decline the holding penalty and get the first down. I think that might have been Tevin Prince. It could very well have been Tyler Prince. But he popped that football out of Herschel Gates' hands. And who came up and got that recovery? Who got that recovery? Who is this little white boy? Is it Austin Miles? It is. Austin Miles picked it up. And we've got another chance. Our defense is bailing us out heavily here. Oh my God, the offensive line can't hold a run for the save their life, or hold a block to save their life. If we're going to have to do this through the air, it's not going to really work. We might have to bring in Isaiah Cannon for that, because Kenny George, as great as he is not the greatest passer. And I got to throw this ball away again. That's got to be a penalty. I mean, he hit me way late. It's already 3rd and 11. The offense has very much gone stagnant here since the first half. And this has got to be the final play of the quarter here. I got a man open, but I saw him drifting, but it's going to be a diving catch by Tyreek Lawson. I did see that guy drifting, that linebacker. That would have been a pick. But luckily, Tyreek Lawson was able to make the diving catch, make the adjustment. And we go into the 4th quarter down in this game. But I have a feeling, the way our defense is playing, if we can score one more time, we might be good to go. Hand this ball off to McCree. McCree will fight forward. He's not the muscle guy that Ferguson or Tank Barber even. He's not the kind of guy that is like that, so he needs to be out in space. I have a couple guys here, but I'm going to take off with George. Smooth Jazz! Kenny George down the sideline! Kenny G, 29 yards on 2 carries. I didn't think I was going to get that much running room. We made it work, though. And Kenny George does it himself, takes it for a huge gain. The handoff to Speed. I had an open lane, but I got brought down too quickly. Little play action rollout here for Kenny. Get him on the move. Fired in. It's going to be caught somehow by Hardly Knower. Walker Hardly Knower with the touchdown catch. I don't know how that was completed, but it was. This has been the craziest game ever. Kenny George just heaves it to the end zone, and Walker just finds a way to grab it. He steals it from the corner. And the Orlando Wizards are back on top by 1 singular point. It is the fourth quarter, and the defense has given us multiple opportunities to take this game, and we finally capitalized on one with a miracle catch by Walker Harley-Noer. And there he is. Keith Maddox will step onto the field to try to lead a fourth quarter game-winning drive, but he hasn't fared very well previously in that third quarter with the defense getting to the quarterback and forcing a couple turnovers, the pick and the fumble. That was a good start, though. Oh, and Austin Miles getting a little chippy with the Golden Eagle receiver. Didn't like the way that play went down, I guess. Oklahoma City has beaten Montreal. That's very interesting. Obviously, we'll take a look at the entire league in the recap at the end of the episode. And Brady Montana misses. Everybody's missing. Storm McKinley finally wraps him up. I need to stop going for the hit stick and go for the cut stick. I haven't played an actual full game of Madden in a long time, so I'm forgot all my instincts. Jadeveon Carter get to the quarterback. Nobody's going to do it. Brick Law brings him down. Good tackle from Law. And Wing will have a decent gain. 2nd and 3. Do I dial up some pressure here? Probably not just yet. If we get to 3rd down, then maybe we'll call a blitz. Oh, it's going to be a quarterback keeper designed quarterback run for Keith Maddox. And Jadeveon Carter was not fooling around. He was not fooled at all. It is 3rd and 8. This could be a very good linebacker blitz situation. I think I'm going to blitz the linebackers here. And it's not going to be working, but it's going to be Smoke Morrison holding for 4th and 1. Do they kick the field goal? It's only a point lead, and they will. They will take their field goal to go up by 2. They will go up 14-16 over us if this is good, and it's up on target and good. Had the leg. It is a beautiful touchdown, or a beautiful field goal from straight. And the Golden Eagles take their lead back. 16-14, late 4th quarter. And we talked about if Keith Maddox can lead a game-winning 4th quarter drive. Now we got to talk about if Kenny G can lead a game-winning 4th quarter drive. Wilson with the return, and he will take it to 2019, maybe? I don't even know. 25? I didn't see where it was. Oh, it's about the 1918, looks like. All right, so how are we going to work this? Quick throw to Edinson Yarborough. He had, I think, the first catch of the day. What, didn't he? Something like that. So he gets us 6 yards. Love to see it. We got MVP running a nice little route here, and he's going to be open. Vontavious Porter, 3rd and inches, they're calling it. Okay. And that's the 2-minute warning. 16-14. We're moving the ball slightly. And remember, we have Dicker the kicker, so I feel confident in our kick game. But I am going to actually give this to the running back, Speed McCree here. Very favorable run, and McCree's got room. We have all our timeouts. Minute 48 to go. Even as hard as it is to see how much time is on the clock, I'm keeping a track of what the clock says. Step up and run with Kenny G. He's got space, and he's going to slide down. Beautifully done by Kenny G. Smooth Jazz delivers. We have enough time and enough timeouts to run the football here. I think I'm going to call one of them. I'm going to call one of our timeouts, just regroup, get everybody back on the same page. Maybe get some substitutions out there. All right, we got some interesting routes running here. I'm going to roll out of the pocket. Fire it in. Tyreek Lawson picked it off. It's game over. Why did I do that? The Golden Eagles will beat the Orlando Wizards on opening day. Isaiah Jaquez seals it with a pick. That was a dumb decision by yours truly. Should never have been put in that situation. Tyreek Lawson wasn't going to make that catch, even if it was on target. Yeah, you can say it was a bad throw from Kenny George, and it was off target. It was off balance. It was a bad throw, but it was also a horrible decision by me. So that's not very good. And I mean, we could call timeouts here, but we only have 2 since I used one on that drive, and we can't even bring him down. I guess we'll use one here, possibly. 16-14. I mean, if we get a stop here, there's what, 15 seconds? Maybe we bring in Isaiah Cannon just to heave one down the field. That could be a possibility, I guess. But that's all saying we stop Keith Maddox here, and we do call a timeout. Trey Watts gets to Maddox, and we will have a shot. Oh my God, the third sack of the day for the Wizards. I think the smart thing to do is to bring in Isaiah Cannon. Lawson will have a return opportunity. Possibly. Okay, so we have, what, 14 seconds and no timeouts? 14 seconds, no timeouts. We got to go in here to the coaching, to the depth chart, and we got to bring in Isaiah Cannon. We need that throw power. It's going to be... Did I get it in time? Okay, Isaiah Cannon is in. Now remember, he has no speed, so we can't run around the pocket, but he's got a cannon. That's why he's named that. Isaiah Cannon to Tyreek Lawson! Oh! Almost! And here we go. This is it. We should really have Benny Button out there for the height advantage, but he's not out there. So we're just going to have to heave one and hope it works out for us. MVP! Pass interference! Pass interference! Pass interference, and we will get an untimed down. Dicker the kicker. It's up. It's good. And the Orlando Wizards will win this game. We stole this one from the Golden Eagles. Absolutely stolen. Isaiah Cannon comes in for 2 throws, misses the first, and then throws one for a defensive pass interference. The game can't end on a defensive penalty, and it gives us a field goal opportunity. Oh my God, that's the craziest finish I've ever seen. That is the craziest finish I've ever seen. So Keith Maddox, 13 for 17, 163 yards, a touchdown and a pick. But Kenny George, 11 for 17, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Both those picks are my fault. I do take full responsibility for both those picks. And Isaiah Cannon, 0 for 1, but he had the most important throw of the entire game. Speed McCree had 12 carries for 57 yards, 4.7 per carry. And then Smooth Jazz, 3 for 44 with 14.6 yards per carry. He was very critical in there. And then MVP Marquez Vontel Porter, 3 for 20 with a touchdown. He had that first touchdown of the game. McCree had 2 catches. Yarbrough had 2. Hardly Nowhere had the other touchdown. A lot of guys getting involved. Defensively, Brick Law came up big with 11 tackles, as you would expect. Smoke Morrison had 6. Trey Watts had 5. So did Austin Miles. 4 for Jabari Sims. 4 for Tyler Prince. So it was Tyler Prince that... and there, I see the forced fumble over there. It was Tyler Prince that got it, not Tevin Prince. Tackle for loss leader was Trey Watts with 2. Carter, Prince, Miles, Bricklaw, and Smoke Morrison had 1. And then the pick leader this is the sack leader. Carter had 1, Trey Watts had 1, and Smoke Morrison had 1. And then pick leader was Morrison, had the only pick of the game. Forced fumble. Tyler Prince forced it, and Austin Miles recovered it. And then Dicker the kicker, baby. Harry Dicker, 1 for 1, 27-yard game winner, and then he hit both of his extra points. Absolutely insane finish to this game, and we come out with the 1-point victory over the Golden Eagles to start the season 1-0. Oh my God, that was the craziest game winner ever, or craziest finish to a game I've ever seen. Absolutely unbelievable. We will simulate to the next week where we play our first home game of the year against the Bison. The Oklahoma City Bison are up next. They have Mo Long Knox, who had 8 catches for 82 yards in the first week. But before we wrap it up, we got to go take a look at the recap here, so the My Franchise tool. But that was quite the week. That was quite the week, quite the episode too. Absolutely insane. Oh man, I need to take a breather. Okay, let's go wrap up the episode with the franchise tool. Okay, here we are, wrapping up the first week of what was, I can only say, a successful week 1, a successful inaugural season of the WOJFL. As you can see, if we go to the schedule and we go to week number 1, we had the Bison beating the Lumberjacks 31-28. on Thursday Night Football. Then we had the Elks beat the Steamers 28-22. The Orbits beat the Caps 31-21. Condors beat the Aviators 45-21. We beat the Golden Eagles 17-16 on a crazy finish. The Armadillos fall to the Bulls 6-38. That's a big blowout. The Oilers beat the Antlers 27-21. Mounties defeat the Blues 38-34. Tigers beat the Snowhawks 28-10. Nighthawks beat the Huskies 28-25 on what I can only assume is a game-winning field goal. Voyagers beat the Tokyo Dragons 21-20. The Desperados beat the Monarchs 27-17. Thunderbirds beat the Sentinels 34-21. Redwoods lose to the Pioneers 28-17. Dreadnoughts beat the Riverhawks 31-17. And the Shamrocks finish it up on Monday Night Football with the Black Knights beating them 21-15. So those are your results for week number 1. Week number 2, we go back home for the first time to take on the Bison, the Oklahoma City Bison. So it's a 1-on-1, or 1-0 versus 1-0. And the Bison scored 31 points in their first game. We had much more rushing yards to their 51, 102 to 51. But they were a much heavier passing team. So we'll have to keep that in mind for episode number 2, or episode number 3, game number 2. We scored 16 points on defense, or we allowed 16 points on defense, I mean. They allowed 28. So their defense might be a little bit of Swiss cheese. That could be something to keep in mind as well. We had a +1 turnover differential. They didn't get any turnovers. Or they got 1 turnover because we had 2. So they had 1 turnover, so that's a +1. Okay. Red zone efficiency, we had 33%. They had 100% on defense. They allowed every single time the team they beat was in the red zone, they allowed a touchdown, which is good to know. Good to know. So this is some good stuff. This is some good information. If we go to the stats, I want to go to the rankings. So they have the NFL Power Rankings as the Louisville Condors being the number 1 team in the NFL. Where are we sitting at? We are sitting at... I pass this? Oh, come on. Have a little bit of faith in the boys. Where are we at? There we are. We're ranked number 16 in the league. We're basically mid-range, which, to be fair, is probably not that bad of a thing. Offensively, the Offensive Power Rankings, they have us ranked probably not very highly because we didn't have a very good showing on offense, did we? We're ranked 31st in offense. That's not good. But defense, we're ranked 2nd. So if we can rely on the defense, we can be right there in the championship. As far as the over-under, if you're a betting fan, or if you're a betting man or woman, where are we at here? Let's see. Orlando. We are playing... I don't see us. I pass this? Oh, here we are. Orlando and OKC. So the over-under is 49, and the plus-minus is -3.5. So that's the spread, 3.5. Which means if you're not a betting fan or a betting person, the spread means if you take -3.5, that means that whoever it is in favor of, which I'm guessing it would be in favor of, let's just say it's in favor of us. So let's say that we are -3.5 there. That means that for that bet to hit, we have to beat the Bison by over 3.5 points. So basically we have to score a touchdown, or we have to kick a field goal and a safety to win by 5. That's basically how you get to cover the spread. And the over-under, obviously, is pretty simple. The total points is 49 points. If you take the over, then you think that the total points in the game will be over 49 points. It's pretty simple, that one. But that's just basic betting. The spread on this game is 11.5 for San Antonio and Toronto. That's pretty crazy. If we go to stats here, we see the passing leaders. Jalen Manuel, he is quarterback of the Thunderbirds, and he had himself quite the game with 31 completions on 40 attempts for 410 yards and 4 touchdowns. That is quite the opening season. So opening game. Only 3 quarterbacks threw for 4 touchdowns. It was Brock Prestige, who is the quarterback for the Mounties, and Penn Brady, who is the Louisville Condors quarterback, and then Jalen Manuel. The most picks in the game was not us. Jimmy Denner for the Tokyo Dragons threw 3 picks in his game. A lot of quarterbacks actually threw 2. It was Deshaun Hoffman of the Aviators. It was our guy, Smooth Jazz Kenny George. Baker Newsome for the Armadillos. And Kenny Preston of the St. Louis Blues threw 2 interceptions as well. Sack leader, who got sacked the most? It was Derek Gillette for the Antlers. He got sacked a whole bunch. CJ Quinton Joseph for the Orbits got sacked a few times. Most yards in the game was Jalen Manuel with 410. That's pretty hard to beat. Best completion percentage was only a couple guys who threw one pass. But Brock Prestige, for somebody who actually started the whole game, Brock Prestige of the Mounties, he had a completion percentage of 90%, 90.3. So that's pretty good. Rushing, who had the most yards? It was Devin Westbrook. For the Oilers, he had himself 150 yards on 23 attempts. He had 3 touchdowns. He had quite the game. 2 guys had 3 touchdowns. It was him and Damon Perry. Or Damian Perry, I guess that would be. Not Damon. It would be Damian. And then Isaiah Cassius and Jalen Lillins had 2. Anybody have a little bit of Butterfingers? Couple guys fumbled once, including our guy, or our opponent, Herschel Gates, who we forced the fumble of. The most yards per attempt were Kenny George, funny enough, with 14.7. But as far as running backs go, this is a wide receiver who actually ran against us on that 12-yard carry. The most running back yards per carry was 8 yards per carry by Elijah Carriel. What a weird name. Of the Vancouver Mounties. Receiving, 153 yards by Devontae Owens, who plays for the Thunderbirds. So he was on the receiving end of a lot of those passes from the quarterback. The most touchdowns was scored by Adam Seth for the Elks, the Albuquerque Elks. Tackle leader, I'm hoping, was Brick Law, but it was not, because Robert Rich Hood for the Tokyo Dragons had how many tackles did he have? He had 16, with Fred Foster getting 13, Matt McDonald 12. The sack leader was Harold Winters for the Oilers. He had 3 in one game. Robert Cadigan, Cagadon, I don't know. He had 2.5. Walls and Till had 2, 1.5 for a couple guys. We had a few, so we're on this list. Safeties, any safeties in the league? Nope. Forced fumbles, we were up there with Tyler Prince. Fumble recoveries, Austin Miles. Touchdowns, no defensive touchdowns. All right. If we go to the sack leader, we got our... Oh, I didn't even see... can I see? Okay, interceptions is its own thing. I was going to say interceptions, but it's its own category. Sack leader, we had 3 sacks from Harold Winters. We knew that. That's pretty good. Interceptions, most interceptions, everybody just had 1. So there was only 1 interception for everybody. And then kicking, anybody do really, really well? Anybody kick a 60-yarder? 50 plus. Somebody attempted 1. Randy Clare, kicker for the Oilers, attempted a 50-plus yarder, and he made 1. He missed 1, but he made 1. And then we had Chris Hoyer and Jake Sow, both attempting and making their 50-yard field goals. Very good. Very, very good. All right, and then any kick return touchdowns? It doesn't look like any kick return touchdowns happened. That's okay. So those are the stats, standings, and that is how we will wrap up episode number 2, but the inaugural week of the NFL, of the WOJFL here in the video. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys like the little immersion detail that I'm implementing into the series. I hope it makes it feel a little bit more immersive, makes it feel like you can connect more with these players and these teams. Maybe you become a fan of some of these teams. It doesn't even have to be my team. It doesn't have to be the Wizards. You don't have to be a fan of the team, but you can pick, maybe you're a fan of the Thunderbirds because they have that quarterback receiver duo that dominated week 1. Or maybe you're a fan of the Elks or the Caps. Or you want to be an underdog team like the Snowhawks or the Dragons, something like that. Maybe you want to be a fan of one of those teams. And also, I did think maybe we should add something, a little like betting system into these series, because they have the odds. They have odds for these games. Like they have over-unders, they have the spread. Maybe we should add like money line to this and stuff like that. I think that could be pretty fun detail. So like you guys bet on the team, and obviously you don't bet real money, but we bet, I don't know, like tokens or juice bucks or something like that. You bet fake money, and you think who's gonna cover the spread? Who do you think is gonna cover the spread this week? Or who do you think is gonna go over under? Or maybe you parlay it with a bunch of money lines. Like that could be a little fun addition that we add to this series, just to kind of make it even more immersive than before. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts on the franchise tool, on the mod as a whole. I will figure out the scoreboard thing for next episode. I promise. Even if I can't figure it out, I'll just like not include them so that it's just the base Madden scoreboard back to normal. But I think the reason is because I had both of them live at the same time. I think that might have been a problem. So I think I'll run some tests and see if one of them works. And then if that happens, then we can run with one of them, or maybe I won't even do it either of them. I don't know, but we'll figure it out for next episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. Leave your thoughts down below in the comments on all of the stuff, on the possible sports betting, fake sports betting type of thing that we could implement on the franchise tool as a whole. Do you like the immersion? Do you like the more in-depth stats, all the kind of stuff, learning about all these different players and stuff, and seeing it in a more simplified, but also in-depth, if you get it. Like, it's in-depth because it goes into all this stuff, but it's also simplified where you can see it on easy tabs where you don't have to try to struggle to find it in the actual game. So give me your thoughts on all that. I'll be curious to see what you guys have to say. And also, leave your created player down below in the comments as well if you want to be introduced or want to be involved in the first ever draft class, or any draft class. Doesn't have to be just the first one, but if you want to have that. So I would need the name, the height, the weight, the position, and the college you want to go to. That's all I would need for that. So that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly, truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.